Well, I'm not even sure you'll be able to hear me or see me. Maybe I'll turn a light on. Woo! Doesn't help at all. I've decided to do my updates on Fridays, and I was on my way to an appointment, and I really don't have a lot of time today to sit and think, and I was listening to CBC just now talking about the flood warnings that are coming, the heavy rain warnings that we have in southern Ontario right now, and for the next month or we're in the middle of it at some point, we have flood warnings and heavy rain warnings. So it got me thinking about where I am in my life in general, emotionally, and in terms of the spectrum of where I'm shifting and what, I've used the word waterlogged to describe how my body feels. And I just heard on CBC just now, they were talking about how the land here is so saturated that the water cannot penetrate anymore. So that's where the complications are happening around flooding, and because the ground isn't soaking up the water, and there's so much coming expected. So, it just got me thinking about the emotional bondage that is being released at the moment for myself and many, 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 many of you. I know that because we've been talking about this for years. And here we are, it's time. And if you don't know what your mission is, start getting in touch with the internal components of who you are, because your mission is in there, and it's really it's what you're most passionate about. It's what drives the spirit of who you are and what fuels your hopes and dreams, really. And so the mission for me, I know, is to be a catalyst and to build a bridge somehow. And I just sort of am waking up to see the clarity of that. And I've known about it for years, and anybody who knows me, who's ever taken the time to sit with me, will probably have run across this conversation on every occasion. And some people felt trapped in the conversation because, I'm very passionate, and I get on my my soapbox, and, well, we all know what soapbox power does to people. But, it's all part of my mission, which is to support and facilitate other people's awakening. So here we are. It's the beginning of May. It's 2017. I'm 55 years old. I'm in the worst shape of my life. I have never been so emotionally scattered, and yet conscious. So for me, this is all learning. This is teaching. It's, I've always called life to meet me. People go into dream state, they go into meditation state, they try and find spirit in altered states, basically internally. I call that spirit to life. And again, anybody who's ever heard my snake story in the forest when I was doing my shamanic healing course, one of our practical exercises was to do a journey for a power animal. And I decided, instead of laying down in my room to do the journey, that I would do a walking journey. And so the story goes from there. So I knew, and I called it, basically meaning I set the intention that when I went into that forest, I would know where I needed to go. And when I got there, I would know what to do. And when I did that, I would see before me the power animal I needed. And lo and behold, I won't go into the whole story now, but I opened my eyes, honest to God, without shifting even a hair eyelash. My eyes were on a snake. And I had earbuds in my iPod with double drumming, shamanic drumming. And the snake was bobbing his head to the beat of my drum. And I was rattling. I had a rattle in each hand. And when I stopped rattling, the snake stopped. And when I started rattling, he started beating his head to the beat of the drum. I did that 3 times to test whether he was actually hearing me. And he was. He was hearing the drumming somehow, some way. The vibration of it, I would imagine. Anyway, that's nothing to do with my update, except that the story of my life is unfolding, and the dream that I've always envisioned is coming clearer. And I've come to see that my mission is to focus on the elements that are happening in my life and use that as the catalyst for my own healing. And if I do that, when I do that, it's the bridge. It's the catalyst that facilitates the forward momentum that takes me where I need to go. So my intention is to do just that, to use the emotional chaos that's going on in my life right now, because trust me, it's so hot and emotional. I'm not even going to talk about it right now, so you can imagine. But rest assured, my destination will take me to a place where I need to do that. And so I've arrived here at my destination, and that's where I'm going to end this call. So thanks for hanging out with me, and expect another update next week. Ciao!